Sure.
Who are you? Only Benwith's crew has access to my... Speak up so I can hear you. You won't find him in the kitchens, ever. These stairs go back to the court. It's the tower adjacent to this one that leads to Aldi's quarters.
Why my eyes be open?
Yes? Indeed. I? Oh? I'll see what I can find. Why not?
Good thing I saw him first.
How may I help?
Lava beyond sick.
Happy to oblige. Lava beyond seek.
Captain? Sirmas me tomb.
What can I do you for? Lava beyond seek.
Yes?
Lava beyond sick.
Got him.
Aye.
Oh?
Yeah.
What for, Cap?
What can I do you for?
Yes?
What for, Cap?
Happy to oblige.
Yeah.
How may I help?
What for, Cap?
How may I help?
Eh?
Aye.
Oh?
What can I do you for?
Yeah.
Aye.
Oh?
Happy to oblige. Lavru, be on seek!
Ahoy. See us, me too, man.
Oh?
What for, Cap? That must have hurt.
Rebirth awaits me. What can I do you for? Ho! Nuh-uh, didn't work.
Leave it.
This is going to be loud, isn't it? Who's rung the bell and why? It better not be. What in the blackest hell? Stop! Stop! That's my Andra fucking ship! Plague and perish those goddamn swivers. I'll blast them from the sea. Do I know you? Well, you wouldn't be the first I've pissed off and forgotten. For that to work, you'd have to be able to hit me. Ah, right. Figures. I should have stayed to... What you hope to accomplish coming around here? You can fight me if you like, but you won't be leaving this fort alive. You sound like Ferrante's parrot. Then I'd be listening. Careful what you say next, or I'm likely to make you eat your entrails. Aye, I've riches aplenty to buy your clemency with. What'll it be then? Yeah, make it a lot, and I might believe we're even. Glad we could come to an almost agreeable arrangement. I attack most anyone what comes across my path. Without the Drake, though, I can't see myself. You're only standing in her stronghold. She's the leader of us all. Us new bloods who chafe at Ferrante's stifle. Our commander might be at sea for now, but she'll be spoken like a man after. I'll call off the ships who are hunting. And as for here, should you need me, I'll be in Aldi's.
Yeah? Got it.
You shopping for barkers or blades? Right away. Care to have a look? Right away.
No problem.
How might I help you out of a bit of money, squab? Care to join our fun? Or is it swilling information?
Now, you bet on high if you think when the dice settle, they'll count up to more than 7. You bet on low if you think the count will be... Lastly, you can also bet on 7. 100 pyres per roll of the dice. You lose, mate. Care for another roll?
Why not?
What the... Damn me and Andra's worthless son. Some unlucky soul.
Well, sneak upstairs.
Hang it all, that nearly damn flattened me.
The ring of a bell comes to you on a cold wind. The ring comes again and again. You feel a resonance in your core. A bell ringing in tune with all the other. The tide of bells recedes. You lever yourself up onto your knees. You are alone. And then, you are not. An indistinct figure stands before you, flickering between forms like a fire-cast shadow. And at their back, 4 indistinct shades hover. You feel an eternity stretch out behind each of them. The shifting image of Berith settles on the aspect of the pallid night.
Watcher.
Her voice is the discordant clangor of gongs struck out of time.
I tasked you to discover Aethys's intentions. Tell me what you have learned.
The pallid night knits her brows.
He does not seek to return to the beyond? Intriguing.
Her sickly pale skin pulls tight across the bones of her face, as if the shell of this aspect doesn't. The figure nearest Berith dissolves and reforms in the image of a thin-lipped. The goddess Woedica strides forward.
Does Aethys frighten you, Berith? He should. Magran subdued Aethys's influence once before, and he—
From out of Woedica's shadow shuffles a hunched, bald man you recognize as the god Scan. His skin is mapped with swollen lash scars, and breath whistles through the rat. He does not speak, but stares up at Woedica. Woedica steeples her long, knob-jointed fingers.
We must annihilate Aethys now, before he makes a rash decision. A moon would do the job nicely.
The figure beside the aspect of Berith flows forward in a swirling. The ash falls to the tiles and reveals a molten-skinned woman, leaning on a monstrous. Magran's glowing lips curl in disdain.
We must find a solution to the problem of Aethys that is neither do-nothing. I acted in haste during the Saints' War. You will not goad me into doing the same. To move against him while his plans are unknown would be the height of foolishness. We must find wisdom in precaution.
Another of the silent figures steps forward, and the warm, golden light of a summer's afternoon spills across your face.
Let's all take a deep, calming breath. Perhaps cooler heads will prevail.
Behind Helia's words, you hear the soft coo of doves. Helia peers down at you. Her avian—
Oh, it's been some time, Watcher of Cadnor.
Helia's voice drops to a low rumble.
Few are the kith who would dare make a pledge to a god and then so brazenly betray them. Did you see them on the street, I wonder? Those hollow-eyed children bereft of souls. Would that you were not Berith's tool, that I might demand my most vicious children rip your flesh from your bones. Instead, I must send my children to you with a gift.
The birds circling above Helia raise their voices in a cacophonous symphony of...
When you return to your ship, dear Watcher, do think of me.
Mogren casts a sidelong glance toward Helia.
So much for cooler heads.
You can't be certain, but you think you might see Mogren, great goddess of fire, trial and war, stifling a laugh. The crows, ravens, rooks, and jackdaws sitting... Mogren says nothing, though a great gout...
Aethys has been separated from us for too long. Isn't it possible he intends only to gather enough souls to reclaim his realm?
Helia puts a feathered hand to her chest. Scan shuffles forward.
Yes, yes. We should welcome Aethys' return to the fold. His gratitude we can leverage to cajole him into divulging his plot. Then, when he believes himself to be in our good graces, we do as Wedeka suggests, and crush him into the earth.
Scan pauses.
Ah, and here is the Watcher who delivered poor tormented Alice back into the clutches of her uncle, Lord Harrand.
Scan licks the ragged edge of his lipless mouth and grins. Then...
I did not expect such a deliciously ruthless idea from you.
Helia's feathered crest stands on end.
You wretched little creature.
The Pallid Knight gestures for silence.
Aethys cannot be killed, but he may be subdued. Yet both stand in his favor.
Mogren grits her black glass teeth.
That is why we must ascertain his plan.
She begins to pace. Mogren stops and balls her hands.
Even if we manage to destroy his current form, there is the possibility he could return.
The Pallid Knight casts a cold, cutting glare in Mogren's direction.
Mogren speaks too freely. That knowledge is beyond your ken.
Wodeka waves the gods to silence.
Aethys gathers
her voice takes on a sharp, almost panicked edge.
There is no sensible answer to the question of a resurgent Aethys other than decisive, final action.
We will act when it is appropriate to do so, and not before.
The Pallid Knight steps away from the half-circle of assembled gods. She pulls herself up.
Follow him, Watcher.
The black of the Pallid Knight's irises expand until her eyes are as dark and cold.
Your debt to me remains unpaid.
She stares at you, unblinking. Like a needle drawn to a magnet, helpless to resist. You tumble into her impulse. You fall wildly, endlessly, unable to... And in the distance, above, you angle yourself toward it. A small silver bell appears just inches from your fingertips. You reach. The moment you touch it, your soul slams and you blink open your eyes.
Leave it to me. Is anyone seeing to your schooling, Vela?
I'm learning lots. Which side of the boat is good for fishing? Which side is good for puking when Uncle Engram's had too much ale?
Thank you again for maintaining my story in front of Vanessa. I didn't enjoy deceiving them, but it seemed simpler than the alternative. I realized there could be nothing between us. But it was nice to have a friend all the same. You stood with me through more than, but a lot. At your suggestion, I took up Theos's mantle. I wanted to use the Leaden Key to improve the lives. So for 5 years, I've been tracking down Leaden Key circles, searching for the places where they operate, hoping they can be reformed. The task has been more difficult. I don't think I fully understood the weight of the... It was much easier when I only had to follow someone else's lead. My father's, Theos's, yours. I haven't. After we defeated Theos, I thought the hard part of changing the Leaden Key would be... Perhaps this would be... I went to a village in Old Valia. Aye, right home like it was. Centuries ago, the Leaden Key had intervened. The details were lost, but what had endured was a practice of ritual. At every full moon, the villagers would feed the soil with their blood. No one, young... That's where it gets complicated. I thought new leadership might guide them away from... So I adjusted some of the deeds pertaining to the ownership. It just so happened that a nearby Comtessa, a rather prosperous one, had a claim on the village. The Comtessa annexed the village, as I'd planned. And while it continued, she taxed the villagers to pay for the plantation she was building, and conscripted half of them to defend it. Is it? In the end, the villagers... I keep wondering what I might have done differently, or how I could have known better. I should get some rest. It's been a long day, and you...
You're far from home, farmer. How did you make it all this way in your... I'm the harbor master, Kauha. I must ask your reason for docking in Neketaka. Yeah, you do need to see someone, truly. I think it's the anime...
Show them. Show them what you are. Yes. Yes. That's
What's the matter with you? What are you doing? If you're trying to scare us with some cipher mischief...
Now.
What? What is this?
Run for it!
So much for discretion.
Why not?
Need a fresh jacket or pants? Something more delicate? If you have a frame, I can fit cloth. Take your time.
Well met, stranger. If you feel like investing in protection, I'd be willing to trade iron for copper. Lots to see. Welcome back. Welcome. I assure you that everything I sell is well crafted. But I will admit I'm not quite the weaponsmith. Marihi, you can find in Pariki's Overlook, the district to the north. Udo has a shop in the Brass Citadel, in the eastern part of Neketaka.
The Queen is holding court today with the Valians and Rowattians.
How long before they're killing each other?
Wager on it?
What's that bally thing is?
Oh, hello. Welcome to my shop. How might I assist you? Oh, I am a cartographer. If you need a map of any settled region of... It used to be I would take to the sea and do a bit of charting myself. I'm quite keen to write a book, in fact. Oh, certainly, certainly.
Captain. You eyeing that fry-shat bare-paws lump of lumber yonder? That be the Misery's Delight. Malnage's pus-stuffed canker of a boat. Malnage. High Queen Sea Devil of the Deadfire. Unfortunately, also the second-best ship hunter around. After yours truly, of course. Doxy popped a hard-on and a half for hating me the tick I joined the Sorcerer. Romaro shielded me from the worst of her training. When they bountied him, Malnage be up in Romaro's head or I've never had a roll on the waves. She finds him for us. She'll sink him.
Washed into port.
Hold up, Cap. That be Malnage, the High Queen Sea Devil of the Deadfire herself. Waiting up.
If it ain't the Deadfire's newest captain, still all shiny and sleek. Surprised to see...
Typical Malnage. Can't...
Boy, when you're as old as me, your skill will still be naught more than the untrained fumbling of an Adeiran maid to the refined workings. I've heard about your run-ins with Captains Benweth and Ferrante. Meeting the old Principe seems like. I'm tracking a man by the name of Romaro.
Romaro ain't no traitor, you mind-blind sack of squid squirts.
I'd be willing to cut you 1/10 of that, here and now, if you give me any knowledge you might have stumbled across on your travels. Careful, Watcher. You don't want to go making yourself an enemy of the Principe set. Fare thee well, Captain. See you around.